ये जो ट्वीट या कमेंट जो मालदीव के मिनिस्टर ने प्रधानमंत्री की लक्षद्वीप की विजिट के बारे में कहा है, इस बेबुनियाद है। इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है। अरे हमारे भारत में हम कहीं भी जाएं, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री कुछ भी करें, हम दुनिया का हर एक नागरिक को हक है कहीं भी जाए। और भारत को ऐसा देश तो है नहीं कि वहां पे सिर्फ एक छोटा सा कोई बीच कहीं पर है। 6000 किलोमीटर की जो है हमारी कोस्ट लाइन है और जगह जगह एक से एक खूबसूरत बीचेस हैं। कल को कोई गोवा जाएगा तो वो बोलेंगे साहब गोवा क्यों जा रहे हैं, हमारे टूरिज्म पर फर्क पड़ेगा। आपको अपने देखना, हर भारत के लिए भारत में एक वही नहीं है। जगह जगह माउंटेन रिजॉर्ट्स हैं, डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ सुपर बीचेस हैं, हर तरह का मौसम हर समय पे उपलब्ध है। तो हर देश को अपना जो भी गौरव है, जो अपनी चीजें अचीवमेंट्स हैं, उसको बताने का हक है कि नहीं है, ये बात जो है उनको समझना पड़ेगा। और अगर मान लीजिए कि भारत और मालदीव के रिश्ते अगर किसी वजह से थोड़े से तनाव में भी हैं, तो उनको ये सोचना चाहिए कि आखिर हैं क्यों। क्योंकि भारत ने कभी भी मालदीव्स का बुरा नहीं चाहा, अपने किसी भी नेबर का बुरा नहीं चाहा। नेबरहुड फर्स्ट पॉलिसी में विश्वास रखते हैं, सबको सब कुछ प्रोवाइड करने की कोशिश करते हैं नॉन रेसिप्रोकल वे में। तो ये तो बेकार का एक बखेड़ा खड़े करने की बात है और मैं नहीं समझता कि इसमें कोई भी तथ्य है या किसी भी तरह की कोई बात इसको आपको सोचना चाहिए। हमारा देश है, हमारे देश में हमारे प्रधानमंत्री कहाँ जाते हैं, क्या करते हैं, दुनिया को किस तरह से दिखाते हैं कि हमारा भारत देश में ये भी एक जगह है। लक्षद्वीप इतना सुंदर आइलैंड है, 36 आइलैंड्स का जो कॉन्ग्लोमरेट है। अब भले ही अगर वो उस इनके आसपास है तो इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी ना है कि हमारी जो अपनी वो है उसको हम कम करेंगे। तो मैं समझता हूँ इस पर कोई ध्यान देने की आवश्यकता नहीं है।
Well, let me put it this way. First thing to understand is that there is, I repeat, there is no controversy between Maldives and India on this matter. A deputy minister made a certain tweet, and the Maldives government has stated categorically that it disassociates itself from that tweet. And Government of India, through External Affairs Ministry, has not commented on this, but it is understood that the Indian High Commissioner might take up the matter with the Maldivian government. Now, what we have to understand is that in diplomacy, it is important not to aggravate matters with an endless tit for tat through the media. So, India is doing the right thing by taking up the matter through diplomatic channels. But we also have to see this in the larger, look at the larger picture. The current president of Maldives came into office based on a platform which required the withdrawal of Indian military presence. I should repeat, a very small military presence, 70 and odd, 2 helicopters, a Dornier aircraft and a vessel. Okay, this is not really a military presence. But we should recognize that the president got votes on the basis of that platform. So I am not privy to all that has happened by way of communication between the two governments, but I would reiterate that India has to deal with this diplomatically. If the president of Maldives wants to, and it's understandable that he wants to carry out, what was said in the manifesto, well, we can say that, okay, let us replace the military helicopters with helicopters provided by a private Indian company. You see, let's also understand Maldives' situation. If you are a foreign tourist from Norway, will you go to Maldives if you are not sure of, urgent medical attention if needed? Okay. Now, Maldives cannot replace the Indian helicopters with Chinese helicopters. They can have Chinese helicopters, But where will they take the patients to? They can't be taken to China. Urgent medical attention. So it has to be India or Sri Lanka, but then Sri Lanka again has limited capacity. So it has to be India. So I think what is required is a proper conversation through diplomatic channels and finding a way out rather than, oh, we'll talk about it and delay matters. Because don't forget, Maldives president went to UAE, Turkey, and now he is on his way to China.
Okay.
Normally, the first port of call should have been India. So that's why I said what is required is sensitivity and diplomatic subtlety.
High Commissioner has taken up the matter in Malé. Government of Maldives issue also the statement. The government of Maldives is aware of a derogatory remark on social media platform against foreign leaders and high-ranking individuals. They said the government will not hesitate to take action against those who make such derogatory remarks.
Yeah, my comment is that the government of Maldives has acted responsibly, and we should leave it at that.
Okay. And also, sir, the former president of see tweet what appealing language by Maldives government official Mariam towards the leader of key ally that is instrumental for Maldives security and prosperity. Dr. Mohammed government must distance itself from these comment and give clear assurance to India they do not reflect government policy.
Yeah, I'm sure the Maldivian government would have done that. Let us not forget, not to sort of, rub it in. When Rajiv Gandhi was Prime Minister, India had sent military, made a military deployment in Maldives, to foil a coup, which had almost succeeded. So, this happened some time back. But we all should remember these things. But as I said again, I'm only reminding the Indian audience. I'm not rubbing it into Maldivian ears.
Okay. Also, the former Shahid says that derogatory remark made by two deputy minister of current Maldives government and member of the political party in the ruling coalition toward Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the people of India, social media is reprehensible and odious. I call on the government of reprimand these official public figure must maintain decorum.
This is Maldives internal politics.
Okay.
We don't have to get involved with that.
Okay, one more question from Bangladesh voting day.
Well, that is understandable. The voting is on. We shall see what the percentage of voting is. But as observers say, the result is predetermined, which means it is not a real voting.
First, let's look at the genesis of this. This all started off because the Indian Twitter commentariat decided to start comparing, the Prime Minister's visit to the Lakshadweep as some kind of a counter to Maldives, which it absolutely was not. The development of tourism in India is completely sui generis. It has nothing to do with the Maldives or in response to the Maldives, because that implies that we've kept the Lakshadweep war as a sort of response to the Maldives. Now, when Twitterati are fighting, Maldivian Twitterati versus Indian Twitterati, the real question is, why did members of the Maldivian government decide to get involved in all of this? Because Indian Twitterati are not the Indian government. Government involvement is a completely different ballgame, and this is the first big question: why did they get involved? The second question is, once they did get involved, what is the kind of language that government officials are using? Referring to India as cow dung mixed with laddus and God knows what not. Very uncivilized language for a deputy minister to be using. And the problem is that even though this deputy minister in question has deleted her tweets, no action has been taken against her. And just 1 hour back, she was tweeting some rabid anti-Indian Pakistani who's abusing India all the other time in his timeline. So the question is, what exactly is the government up to? Because if President Muizu isn't acting against such indiscipline, ultimately, the buck stops with him. The third issue is, the appalling lack of knowledge that seems to be displayed by the Maldivian tourism industry. Because you see, what's been happening is that they've been tweeting that the average Western traveler spends $2,500, whereas the average Indian traveler only spends $750. That is true, but that entire $750 goes into the Maldivian economy because the price bracket at which Indian travelers go to the Maldives is entirely localized. Whereas all those Western companies, they make all their profits skimming off, and these are huge profit margins. There is no way a suite in the Maldives costs $15,000 a night. Out of that, maximum, say, $200-300 are going into the Maldivian economy, and the remaining $14,500 would be going into the pockets of these Western multinational corporations that run hotels out there. Second, the minister and both the ministers in question, despite being Maldivians, didn't even seem to know the difference between scuba diving and snorkeling and the gear required. So there's really appalling lack of knowledge of the tourism industry and of tourism itself and of diving itself. Now, it's like saying, how can somebody in the Maldives not know the difference between scuba diving and snorkeling? In India, it's still fine, but in the Maldives, really? And how are these people even ministers? Fourth, the question is, why has the Indian High Commission even taken this up? This should have been dealt with proactively by President Muizu himself. There's no point coming out and saying, I'm against all foreign militaries in Maldives, and we won't allow the Indians, but we won't allow the Chinese or the Pakistanis or everyone else either, when your ministers are actively targeting India in response, mind you, not to Indian government officials, but in response to tweets and Twitterati.
Debate, several celebrities and others were tweet on this matter also. As a senior most diplomat and former ambassador, how would you look at the whole matter?
Well, I think it is unfortunate because the new president of Maldives has been on a obsessive campaign against India almost even before he was elected. He kept talking about expelling the military personnel which were there to service the aircraft and to look after Maldives cooperation program, which is extensive in many ways, not just in terms of servicing the aircraft, but also in terms of grants in aid. We've built hospitals there, we've built training facilities there for young boys and girls, and also part of the airport of Malé. So India's grant in aid means that it is without any strings attached. Somehow the new president has taken it as his mission to talk against India and to act against India almost from the word go, from the day he was installed. He kept on repeating what he had said before the elections. So this is strange because he is not reflective of the position of a large number of people of Maldives, because the other political parties believe and have acted in good faith in increasing and enhancing cooperation with India.
So the is instrumental for Maldives security and prosperity. Dr. Mohammed Mizuzu government must distance itself from these comments and give clear assurance to India do not reflect the government policy.
Well, exactly as I was saying, that people of Maldives, a large number of them, believe in friendship and cooperation with India because it has helped the prosperity of Maldives. And as the former president has very rightly said, the government of Maldives, led by the president, should distance itself. But not just distance itself in words, but also in deeds. Because if the present president of Maldives, looks at the record of cooperation, then he'll find that Maldives owes 20% of its foreign debt to China, about $1.2 billion, whereas Indian tourism alone gives Maldives $1 billion every year. So where is the comparison? I'm just talking about what Indian tourists spend in Maldives. What about the number of projects that India undertakes almost every year in Maldives? So India's cooperation with Maldives is without strings, whereas Chinese cooperation has strings attached because Maldives is under debt to China of $1.2 billion, which means 20% of its foreign debt.
Sir, their opinions are personal and do not represent the views of the government of Maldives. Moreover, the relevant authorities of the government will not hesitate to take action against those who make such derogatory remarks.
So, is the president of Maldives prepared to dismiss this particular minister? If he does dismiss that minister, that means that he was not aware of the sentiments expressed by that minister. Otherwise, the implication would be that it was with a nod and wink by the president himself. So the matter is serious because you cannot shoot an arrow and then say that no, sorry, we made a mistake, we are going to withdraw the arrow. The arrow is gone. It has done the purpose for which it was shot.
So one important, is this going to affect the international relationship between India and Maldives also?
Well, I think we should make two distinctions. Number one, the previous governments were cooperative with India. The previous president has immediately made a statement condemning this kind of a remark. The second, as I've said repeatedly, the people of Maldives realize that their prosperity depends a lot on India's grant in aids and India's tourism income, which amounts to $1 billion every year. It's not just the tourists going there, but also the Indian private companies which has set up tourism facilities, starting from Tata's to other major Indian companies, have set up resorts there, hotels there. So there's a lot at stake for Maldives in terms of not letting the relations sink any further.
So my last question.
Well, Sheikh Hasina has been a friend of India, and India has been a friend of Sheikh Hasina and Bangladesh from the time it was set up in 1971. It is unfortunate that Sheikh Hasina's family, including her esteemed father, was shot down in that horrible incident by Bangladesh's some elements of Bangladesh's army. Sheikh Hasina has been consistent in her approach that cooperation results in prosperity. Prosperity for Bangladesh, prosperity for India. So her remarks are welcome, and I am sure that in the next term of Sheikh Hasina, we will see further areas where Bangladesh and India prosper together.
को लेकर एक नया विवाद छिड़ता हुआ नजर आ रहा है, कुछ कमेंट्स भी
Maldives.
मालदीव्स को लेकर सर एक नया विवाद छिड़ता नजर आ रहा है. किस तरह से देखते हैं आप? सीनियर एम्बेसडर रहे हैं, फॉर्मर डिप्लोमेट भी हैं.
मालदीव्स के राष्ट्रपति उन्होंने एक बीड़ा उठाया हुआ है जो शुरू हुआ था उनके इलेक्शन से पहले, और उनके अनुसार कि जितना वो एंटी इंडिया स्टैंड लेंगे शायद उतना ही उनकी पॉपुलैरिटी मालदीव्स में बढ़ेगी. पर वक्त बताएगा कि क्या उनका ये अनुमान ठीक था या वो मालदीव्स को एक ऐसे मोड़ पे ले जा रहे हैं जिसमें मालदीव्स का इकोनॉमिक और पॉलिटिकल नुकसान बढ़ता जाएगा, क्योंकि एक सोसाइटी में वो डिवीज़न क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. मालदीव्स के ज़्यादा लोग जो हैं वो इस दिशा में जाने के रुख में नहीं हैं. वो रियलाइज़ करते हैं कि भारत जो है उनका हमेशा हितैषी रहा है, उनका हमेशा दोस्त रहा है, उनका हमेशा सहायता देने वाला मुल्क रहा है, सबसे बड़ी सहायता देने वाला मुल्क रहा है. सो मालदीव्स के लोग जो हैं सिग्निफिकेंट नंबर्स में नाखुश हैं, और यही बात है जो उनके अपोजिशन के लीडर्स जो हैं बार बार दोहरा रहे हैं. बिल्कुल ठीक, क्योंकि आप एक घनिष्ठ मित्र देश के बारे में इस तरह के बयान तो वैसे भी शोभा नहीं देते, पर एक मंत्री की हैसियत में अगर बयान दिया है तो उसका मतलब साफ यही है कि शायद प्रेसिडेंट ने खुद उनको इशारा किया होगा कि ऐसे बयान दीजिए। सो जो पूर्व राष्ट्रपति हैं उनका कहना बिल्कुल वाजिब है, सही है कि भाई अगर आपने नहीं ऐसा इशारा किया तो या तो अपने मंत्री को आप डांटिए, कुछ ऐसा एक्शन लीजिए जिससे संकेत जाए भारत को और विश्व को भी कि हमारा इंडिया से ताल्लुक़ जो है वो पहले की तरह रखना चाहते हैं। अगर नहीं ऐसा कोई संदेश गया तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जो करंट राष्ट्रपति हैं वो जैसा उनका पहला रुख था इलेक्शन से पहले वैसा ही चलता रहेगा।
सर, इसी कड़ी में एक लीडर्स हो या फिर हाई रैंकिंग इंडिविजुअल हो, उनसे मालदीव का किसी प्रकार का कोई संबंध नहीं है, वो सब निजी हैं। मालदीव ऐसे बयान देने वाले लोगों के ऊपर सख्त कार्रवाई करेगी वहाँ की सरकार।
देखिए, कोई जब आदमी एक ऑफिशियल पोजीशन में होता है और स्पेशली अगर कोई मिनिस्टर है तो जो वो बयान देता है वो एक प्रथा चली आ रही है कि वो पूरी कैबिनेट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है, मतलब पूरी सरकार की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है। तो प्रेसिडेंट का ये कहना या सरकार का ये कहना कि वो निजी अपनी पर्सनल कैपेसिटी में ये बयान दे रहे थे, ये तो गलत है। कोई मिनिस्टर पर्सनल कैपेसिटी में प्रेस को बयान नहीं देता है और सोशल मीडिया में लिखता नहीं है, वो है ऑफिशियल कैपेसिटी। एक बार आप शपथ ले लें किसी मिनिस्टेरियल पोस्ट की तो आपका कोई पर्सनल रूप नहीं रह जाता, और स्पेशली जब आप सोशल मीडिया में एक ऐसा कड़ा और भद्दा बयान देते हैं। तो अगर प्रेसिडेंट मालदीव्स के सच में वो उसके ऊपर नाराज़ हैं तो उसको डिसमिस क्यों नहीं कर देते? असर तो पड़ चुका है, क्योंकि देखिए ज़मीन आसमान का फ़र्क है। एक साल पहले तक मालदीव्स और इंडिया में जो रिलेशन थे, जो रिश्ते थे, वो बहुत मजबूत थे और इंडिया हर तरह की मदद कर रहा था। आपको 2-3 उदाहरण मैं दूंगा। टूरिज़्म इंडस्ट्री में जो उनकी डेवलपमेंट हुई है उसमें इंडियन कंपनीज़ का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है। जो रिज़ॉर्ट्स इतने बढ़िया बने हैं, टाटा और बाकी कंपनीज़ ने वहाँ जाके अपना पैसा लगाया और अपनी मेहनत लगाई है। इंडिया ने उनके एड प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर हर स्फीयर में, हर डायरेक्शन में कुछ ना कुछ योगदान दिया है, चाहे वो हॉस्पिटल हो, चाहे ट्रेनिंग फैसिलिटी हो, चाहे स्कूल कॉलेजेस हो, सब में इंडिया का एक प्रिंट लगा हुआ है। दूसरा, इंडियन टूरिस्ट हर साल इतनी तादाद में जाते हैं कि $1 बिलियन वो खर्च करते हैं मालदीव्स के होटल फैसिलिटीज़ वगैरह में। इन कंपैरिजन चाइना जो है वो उनको ऋण के अंदर फंसा रहा है। $1.2 बिलियन का ऋण मालदीव्स ने चाइना को देना है, जो उसका 20% है बाहरी ऋणों के हिसाब से। सो कंपैरिजन आप करिए, एक तरफ से चाइना उनको बार बार नकेल दे रहा है कि आपने $1.2 बिलियन हमको देने हैं, दूसरी तरफ से भारत कहते हैं हम तो $1 बिलियन टूरिज़्म हमारे जो यात्री हैं वो हर साल स्पेंड करते हैं और करते रहेंगे क्योंकि हम रिलेशंस बढ़ाना चाहते हैं। तो असर तब पड़ेगा अगर मालदीव्स की नीयत ऐसी ही रही, उनके स्टेटमेंट्स ऐसे रहे और उनके एक्शंस ऐसे रहे।
सर, आखिरी सवाल आप सीनियर डिप्लोमेट के नाते
शेख हसीना बहुत एक्सपीरियंस पॉलिटिशियन है और ऐसी फैमिली को बिलोंग करती हैं कि जिसका रिश्ता इंडिया से बहुत करीबी था। उनके पिताजी ने वर्चुअली बांग्लादेश को इंडिपेंडेंस दिलाई और 71 के बाद वो प्रेसिडेंट बने, प्राइम मिनिस्टर बने बांग्लादेश के। और अनफॉर्चुनेटली कुछ एलिमेंट्स जो आर्मी के थे उन्होंने पूरी फैमिली को, सिवाय शेख हसीना जो उस टाइम बाहर थी देश से, सबको मार डाला। तो शेख हसीना को वो सब याद है और शेख हसीना को ये भी अच्छी तरह से पता है कि दोनों देशों की जो तरक्की है वो एक दूसरे के साथ मित्रता के ऊपर आधारित है। तो उनका ये बयान इलेक्शन डे में बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है और एक संदेश है कि हमारी मित्रता बढ़ेगी